rational numbers, subtraction of decimal. Now, let's see if we can use the same skills in a different operation. Just like in addition, place value and the decimal point are very important when subtracting. So, are you ready to learn how to subtract decimal numbers correctly? Let's get started. So, there are things to remember in subtracting decimal numbers. First, line up the decimal points vertically. Fill in any zeros where necessary. Second, subtract the numbers as if they were whole number. And lastly, place the decimal point in the difference so that it lines up vertically with the numbers being subtracted. So, let's have our example. For our example number 1, we have here 161 hundreds minus 32 and 9 tenths. So first, let's write the given to our table. So for our given, we have 161 hundreds. And the second one is 32 and 9 tenths. So let's write the whole number, which is 100. The decimal point, tenths is 6 and hundreds is 1. So this given is from our minuend. The next is for our subtrahend, the whole number is 32. The decimal point, copy. Tenths is 9. And since we are going to fill in any zeros, if it is necessary, or if it is needed, then we are going to fill in. Since our minuend, our subtrahend, ay wala po tayong hundreds, then we are going to put 0. Okay? So there are things that you need to remember when subtracting. If the numbers cannot be subtracted, then we need to borrow. So, kailangan malaman natin at matandaan natin paano ba dapat tayo mag-borrow if the number cannot be subtracted. So now, let's start with subtraction the numbers or subtracting our given. First, we are going to rewrite the given, which it should be vertically aligned. So we have 161 hundredths minus 32 and 90 hundredths. So, first, we're going to subtract from right to left. So, katulad lang din po ng ginagawa natin kay addition of decimal numbers. So, first, let's subtract 1 minus 0 is 1. Next, 6 minus 9 cannot be. If it is cannot be, then we need to borrow. So, if we're going to borrow, si 6, kailangan natin mag-borrow kay ones. Since si ones po ay 0, hindi tayo makakaborrow. So, si 0, we need to borrow to the next one, kay tens. Since hindi rin tayo makaborrow kay tens, then we were going to borrow kay hundreds. So, since we are going to borrow kay hundreds, which is 1, 1 becomes 0, the tens become 10. Then, since we need to borrow kay ones, then si ones magiging 10 at si tens magiging 9. Kasi nag-borrow tayo kay tens. Then, pwede na po ba tayong mag-borrow kay ones para madagdagan si 6, which is our tenths. So, pwede na po. So, therefore, yung ating 10 ay magiging 9 and our 6 becomes 16. Therefore, we can proceed in subtraction. So, it is really important that we know how to borrow. Okay? So now, let's proceed in subtraction. 16 minus 9, that is 7. Then, copy decimal point. The next, 9, dito na po tayo magre-refer. 9 minus 2, that is 7. Next, 9 minus 3, that is 6. And since 0 na po yung hundreds natin, wala na po tayong ilalagay. So our final answer is 67 and 71 hundredths. Okay? So to check if our answer is correct, what are we going to do is to add the difference. So the answer in subtraction is difference. So what are we going to do is to add the difference to our subtrahend. So, the answer should be our minuend. Okay, so if we are going to add, so let's use different color. So we are going to add 32 and 90 hundredths plus 67 and 71 hundredths, then the sum should be 161 hundredths. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 9 plus 7, that is 16. So 6, carry up 1. Then copy decimal point, then let's add. 1 plus 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 7, that is 10. So 0, carry up 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 6, that is 10. So we have 10 here. So now, since our answer is equal to our mean wind, then our difference, which is 67 and 71 hundredths, is correct. Okay, now let's proceed with our example number 2. For our example number 2, we have 73 and 9 tenths minus 9 and 28 hundredths. So now, let's proceed with our given. So write our given 73 and 9 tenths and 9 and 28 hundredths. So now let's write the whole number, which is 73, decimal point, tenths is 9. Next, to our subtrahend, the whole number is 9. Copy the decimal point, and our tenths is 2, hundredths is 8. Okay, so fill in any zeros where necessary. Since both have tenths, pero si minwend natin ay walang hundreds, then we are going to put 0 kay hundreds. So again, kailangan pareha sila na merong tenths and hundreds. It depends sa ating given. Okay, so dapat they have both number of decimal. So now let's proceed with subtraction of decimal. So let's rewrite it vertically. So 73 and 90 hundredths minus 9 and 28 hundredths. Now let's proceed with subtraction from right to left. So 0 minus 8 cannot be. If it is cannot be, then we need to borrow dun sa ating tenths. So si tenths ay 9, so pwede tayong mag-borrow. Therefore, it becomes 8. Magbaborrow tayo ng isa. Then, si 0 magiging 10 na siya. Okay? So now, we can subtract. 10 minus 8, that will be 2. And proceed tayo sa ating another place value. 8 minus 2, that is 6. Then copy decimal point or align it vertically. Then proceed with subtraction. 3 minus 9, this is also cannot be. So, kailangan natin mag-borrow. So, magbaborrow tayo kay 7. Then 7 becomes 6. 3 becomes 13. So, nag-a-add tayo ng 10. So, now, can we subtract? So, if we can subtract, then proceed to subtraction. 13 minus 9, that is 4. And 6, wala na po tayong isa-subtract. Therefore, bring down 6. So, our answer is 64 and 62 hundredths. Okay, next, let's have our example number 3. For our example number 3, we have 5 and 4 hundredths minus 256 thousandths. So, first, let's write the given 5 and 4 hundredths. And we have 0 and 256 thousandths. So write the whole number of the mean wind, which is 5. The decimal point, copy. Tenths is 0. Hundredths is 4. For our subtrahend, our whole number is 0. Then the decimal point, copy. Our tenths is 2. Our hundredths is 5. And our thousandths is... So again, hundreds is 4. Our hundreds is 5 and our thousands is 6. So, fill in any zeros when necessary. So, since meron pong thousands, so we need to input thousands kay minwend. So, meron na po sila lahat. Now, let's proceed with subtraction. For our subtraction, rewrite natin si given 5 and 0 or 40 thousandths. Next, we have 0 and 256 thousandths. Now, proceed with subtraction. 0 minus 6, that is cannot be. So, we need to borrow kay 4. 4 becomes 3, and 0 becomes 10. Next, proceed with subtraction. 10 minus 6 is equal kay 4. And proceed with 3 minus 5. So, cannot be again. So, if it is cannot be, then we need to borrow. Magbaborrow tayo kay 0. Since we cannot borrow kay 0, hindi tayo magbaborrow dito. then we are going to borrow kay 5. So, when we borrow 5, 5 becomes 4, si 0 becomes 10, and then since we are going to borrow, para yung 3 ay masubtract kay 5, si 10 magiging 9. So, this will become 9. So, let's wait for it. So, again, this will become 10. And then, si 10 ay magiging 9. And 3 becomes 13. So, now we can subtract. So, make sure lang that we know how to borrow. The process of borrowing. Okay, now let's subtract. We can subtract now 13 minus 5. So, ito po yun. 13 minus 5, that is 8. And 9 minus 2. So, 9 minus 2, that is 7. Copy decimal point. And then 4 minus 0, that is 4. So, our answer is 4 and 784 thousandths. Okay, now let's proceed with our example number 3. Number 4. For our example number 4, we have 122 minus 54 and 23 tenths, 23 hundredths. So first, write the given. We have the whole number 122. Our subtrahend is 54 and 23 hundredths. So write the whole number 122. So wala tayong decimal point, tenths and hundredths. Now for our subtrahend, we have the whole number 54. Our decimal point, copy, tenths is 2, hundredths is 3. Since meron tayong tenths and hundreds kay subtrahend, then we need to put zeros doon po kay ating minuend. So, if we're going to put 0 here, then we are going to put decimal point here. Okay? So, dapat pantay sila. Yung decimal numbers natin, pantay sila. Okay? So, now let's proceed with subtraction. We'll write the given vertically. So, 122 So, meron tayong 122 minus 54 and 23 hundredths. So, now let's proceed with subtraction. 0 cannot be subtracted to 3. So, magbaborrow tayo. Hindi rin tayo pwedeng magborrow kay 0. So, magbaborrow tayo kay 1s. So, pag nagborrow tayo kay 1s, then magiging 1 ito. Then, si 0, magiging 10. And since we are going to borrow sa ating hundreds, magbaborrow tayo kay 10 so that we can subtract 0 and 3. Then, si 10 ay magiging 9. So, this will become 9. And this will become 10. So, now, can we subtract? So, let's proceed with subtraction. So, 10 minus 3 is 7. Proceed with 9. Minus 2, that is 7. Then, align the decimal point vertically or copy the decimal point. Then, proceed with subtraction. 1 minus 4, this is cannot be also. So, if it is cannot be, then we need to borrow. Magbaborrow tayo kay tens. So, si tens magiging 1. At si 1 na ones natin magiging 11. Then, we can proceed with subtraction. So, 11 minus 4, this is 7. And proceed with subtraction again. 1 minus 5, this is cannot be also. So, if it is cannot be, then we need to borrow kay hundreds natin. So, pag nagborrow tayo kay hundreds, then si hundreds na 0, na 1 magiging 0. At si 1 natin kay tens ay magiging 11. So, now we can subtract. 11 minus 5, that is 6. And then 0, hindi na tayo mag-subtract. So, therefore, our answer is 67 and 77 hundredths. So, there's nothing more to subtract. So, the answer is this. So now, let's proceed with our last example. For our last example, we have 65 and 29 hundredths and 36 and 72 hundredths. So first, write the given 65 and 29 hundredths and 36 and 72 hundredths. Write the whole number, which is 65. Decimal point, tenths is 2, hundredths is 9. Second is 36 is whole number, decimal point, tenths is 7, and hundredths is 2. So, hindi na po tayo mag-fill in ng 0 dahil pantay naman po sila ng numbers of decimal. Okay, so therefore, let's rewrite the given 65 and 29 hundredths minus kay 36 and 72 hundredths. Proceed with subtraction. So 9 minus 2, that is 7. Next is 2 minus 7. So cannot be, therefore we need to borrow. So magbaborrow tayo kay ones. So si ones magiging 4 at si 2 ay magiging 12. Now proceed tayo kay subtraction of our decimal. So 12 minus 7, so that is 5. Then copy decimal point. So because we are going to align decimal point vertically. Then proceed with subtraction. 4 minus 6 cannot be again. So therefore we need to borrow naman kay tens. So si tens natin ay 6 becomes 5. And yung 4 natin kay ones, since hindi siya pwedeng i-subtract, magiging 14 since we borrowed kay tens. So now, can we subtract our number 14 and 6? So 14 minus 6, so this is 8. And lastly, 5 minus 3, so this is 2. So our final answer is 28 and 57 hundredths. So this is how we subtract decimal numbers. So again, always remember the process in subtracting decimal numbers. First, line up the decimal point vertically and fill in any zeros where necessary. Then, subtract the numbers as if they were whole numbers and place the decimal point in the difference so that it lines up vertically with the numbers being subtracted. So remember, borrowing is important when the digit on top is smaller than the digit we need to subtract. So, if yung minuend natin or the digit in the minuend ay mababa compare kay subtrahend, then we cannot subtract it already or we cannot subtract it agad-agad. But we need to borrow because borrowing allows us to continue the subtraction correctly while keeping the place values balanced. So again, remember, first we need to align, second, borrow when needed, then subtract, and also check your answer. So keep practicing and you'll become more confident in subtracting decimal numbers.